Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Mancion. I wanted to come briefly to wish you a good day, to greet you. And I think I thought it was yesterday, but it is tomorrow. I think that there is this conjunction between Jupiter and the Sun. Jupiter is the miracle maker. It is Zeus, the father of man and God. It is the most powerful of all power. It is the magnifier. And so, as it moves into as the Sun moves in Scorpio, I think it is tomorrow. Happy birthday to all the Scorpio. As it moves into the Scorpio, there will be effects that are already felt 2 or 3 days. All cosmic events are always 2 or 3 days before, 2 or 3 days after. And so this will be very powerful because it's in Scorpio, this conjunction. So Scorpio is an alchemical transformation. It is the power to do deep transformation. It is also the subconscious, all those things that could be fearful in relationship to sex, money, death, all those things that comes from the subconscious. I think it is good to focus on what is possible, to focus on luck, to let go of the past as much as possible. There is a square between Chiron and Saturn. So in many sense that will force certain wounds to come up to the surface, parts that are part of ourselves that may be still fearful or hurt or that need healing, light and love. So those parts needs to be recognized in order to be healed. So it is important to give yourself the time to address those parts of yourself. If anything comes up through memory, for we want to look into the future, but when a memory comes back, something needs to be integrated, healed, or organized. And so Saturn is still in Sagittarius, so we have to get organized before we move into Capricornus, because after that it's going to be a lot of things are going to be unfolding for Saturn is the past, the karma, the duty, the life path. It is the master of time. It is the great father. It is Chronos, the time that separated the heaven and the earth in the mythology. And so it is the most beautiful planet, one of the most beautiful planets of our solar system. I've never really been inside it, but I've flew over it a few times, so some people may not believe me. They think it's bizarre. Can human beings be floating about in a spaceship above the rings of Saturn? But it is a beautiful place, and there's a great civilization inside. All the big planets, the gaseous planets, have advanced civilization. They will come to realize the connection with them later. And Chiron is a small planet of our solar system who's very powerful. This is where my master guide lives, and where my soul frequency is, where I'm working to align with. It is the connection between Uranus and Saturn, the past and the future, for it is the wounded healer. It is a really good judge of character. It's got an extremely good sense of and how to bring things into completion, integration, healing. Chiron was the master teacher of all the great heroes of Greece. He was a centaur, the only centaur that was eternal. He's also represented in the constellation of Sagittarius. The Sagittarius is Chiron. And so, also an important event, so we will continue to follow Chiron. Chiron will be moving from Pisces into Aries, and Uranus will be moving from Aries into Taurus. Eventually, Chiron's going to catch up to Uranus, but it will take some time, so those planets are moving very slowly. And so I'm going to pull out a few cards just for the fun of it, for the day. What is the highest wisdom we can find today is partnerships. Partnerships is really how to connect, to associate, to work with spirit, to the benevolent forces of the universe, with God, with whichever way we make this connection, this partnership with spirit will greatly enhance both our ability to live our life fluidly, but also to be informed, to be connected. So this partnership with spirit will increase as time goes on, and it's something that is an ongoing process. What we need to understand is healing is how to heal, how to bring things into completion, to bring it into wholeness. When something is whole, it no longer needs to be healed. And know that you're already whole. So as you know you're already whole, all the parts that need to be healed are finding everything to find their solution. And there is always a solution to everything. And time heals all wounds. What we need to do is life purpose. We need to fulfill our life purpose, which is whatever that is, but it's mostly about joy, about happiness, about finding ourselves in the right place, in the right time, doing the things that we love to do. Essentially, that's the life path. Then we serve in that process, of course. Whatever we are called to do is where we go, but we are happy to fulfill that call. And the general message is direction. So it is the direction. It's finding that direction, staying on course, staying as much as possible turned towards the north, which is absolute north. The North Star. We keep the North Star it is a guide of integrity, balance, neutrality. It is the most neutral. It is the central level of consciousness, and so it is important to stay to keep an eye towards the north. It is the direction. I found those cards the other day, and I used to have. There were stones. They called the runes. They're like the Gothic alphabet. There was 25 of them, and I had them in stones for many years. And but I lost them, and I found this. I couldn't find the stones, but I found these little cards. So I'm going to pull up a card. It's a rune. It's called Jera. It's for the day. Jera. Oh yeah. It talks about harvest. It talks about concretization, maturity, growth, rewards, good action, natural law. So it is good to stay within the law, stay within the natural process of life, to know that you are within the one. And so if you are within the one, you can never make mistakes. Even if you make mistakes, you are learning something, so you should not judge yourself for your mistakes. You cannot make a mistake. Everybody's always doing their best. We always know that we could be doing better than we are, and yet if we could do better than we are, we would. So in essence, you have to accept things as they are, knowing that everything can be improved. Always. I wanted to also. I came across this card deck. It's about past life and how to heal past life. So I'm just going to pull out one card to see if it resonates with you. It may or may not. It's very particular kind of deck. I haven't really learned to use it just yet, but I mean it's not that hard actually. So the cards that's going to be pulled out may bring up certain ideas and memory. And here we have war and. We have war, so it means that there may be a past life where we've been wounded into war and we're still carrying conflict, whether it is with us or our family genetics. And so it is good to allow ourselves to heal those things, to forgive those conflicts, and to let go of all things that could be of separating nature. For those perception and belief may be coming from subconscious wounds that we had, that left us wounded because of those war in the past. And so as we do that, we find ourselves, it's another thing that we may need to deal with. It's called orphan, and here it means that from past life we might have felt very lonely, or even within this life, and so to felt like God has forgotten about us. But we have the one to reconnect to that. In essence, what will reconnect us to that is brought a third card just to complete the series. It's called Atlantis. Yeah, so it means that all of those processes, we have these memories of those very idyllic situations. In Atlantis, life was paradise for everybody. But then we moved into an age of darkness, and so we had to allow ourselves to be orphaned and to fight among ourselves. But now it is time to let go, to heal, and to return to the ideal of Atlantis, which was really a high level of civilization, a very mothering civilization. It was a matriarchy as well. It was it was civilization that was the most advanced civilization for over 200,000 years on the Earth. Was the last bit of it sank into the ocean over 10,000 years ago. But there is a whole consciousness that is re-emerging through the Egyptian wisdom, and there was the continuation of the Atlantean civilization, the leftover, the attempt of carrying on the wisdom of Atlantis. So it is very important to tune into those memories, to allow ourselves to also disconnect all sorts of beliefs and also vows that we might have taken, because we had hundreds, maybe thousands of lifetimes on this earth, and so we have, during those lifetimes, we may have made the vows of poverty, or vows of abstinence, or vows of all kinds of submission to higher power, and all those vows have to be dissolved. Put them all in one basket, fill it with violet fire, and let it burn. Let it dissolve all contracts from past life that could have a restriction on your happiness in this lifetime. So those cards are hard to read, but they're more like a one-on-one personal thing. But in essence, they still remind us that we have to clear up all this baggage, all those unconscious during this Scorpio season, where we are all kinds of unconscious memory may come up to the surface to be healed, and so we have to address those. And as we do that, we will find greater freedom. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day with this conjunction of Jupiter tomorrow. I hope much luck will come to you, to all of us, for life is something we share. And thank you for your comment, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.